goal for our school is to form connections for children, and the ultimate connection for each of us is our connection with God. But also we need to be connected with ourselves, we need to be connected with each other, and we need to be connected with our natural world in which we live. And in doing that, we want to bring out the best for each child. We want each child to achieve their own unique potential.
The whole Krishna conscious experience is an educational experience, but it all starts a relationship really with the kids. That's the most important thing, is that you've got an actual connection with the kids, and that relationship is there. That's the basis for everything.
The educator's job is to work with each child to bring out what is the best in that individual.
Kids don't really remember what you taught them, but they remember how you made them feel.
At this school, I believe our teachers are exemplary in how they teach and how they treat the children, and how they teach Krishna consciousness in a way that they can assimilate into their little lives at home, and helps them to build faith in something bigger than themselves.
So all of us are on a spiritual journey, and every human being, and it's our job as educators to support each child's personal journey, not just academically, but the whole child, spiritually, emotionally, mentally and physically.
Nectar of Devotion describes learning in context of character development and a range of academic subjects. So we try and facilitate that. Character development's the core. Helping young people develop Krishna conscious values, spiritual perspectives on life. That's the main focus, and then academic success as well is important, so that they're capable people.
So I'll start with enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic.
Devotional.
Excited. Happy. Excited. Excited. Happy. Excited. 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 Happy. Excited.
Happy. Very nice. Okay. Good to hear how everyone is feeling. Good to know how we feel. Good to be aware of how we feel, so that we can start the day in a real way, and also be aware of how others are feeling around us, so that we can deal with them sensitively.
My initial impressions with New Zealand curriculum is I was very impressed, mostly because the curriculum is non-prescriptive. So it gives teachers and educators a lot more freedom to choose how to apply the principles of the curriculum. We'll see in New Zealand schools a lot of variation in how children are taught, because each school has to teach according to the community, according to their children that they have. We're very fortunate because our school is supported by the government, and we can teach our personal philosophy as well as the curriculum.
So education is about becoming a successful human being. And then we're all individuals, so tuning into the individual and understanding what they need and what's going to be best for them as an individual based on their desires and who they are as a person, and to support them in fulfilling and achieving their full potential. So ultimately, full potential, from my perspective, is full development of Krishna consciousness. So we're all on that journey together. So I'm learning from them in my Krishna consciousness through this service. The goal of human life is to develop love for God, to develop love for Krishna.
I heard of the Hare Krishna school, and then I joined the Hare Krishna school for one day. It was really great, and I went there another day and I did the japa meditation, and it was really special. It felt like something was calling me, and I've sticked up to the school, and I've basically turned into what I am now.
Do you enjoy the time you spend in school?
Oh yeah, very much. It lets me be myself and helps me grow through the most embarrassing times to the most funnest and most life-helping experiences.
It has been 1 year since I've been in school, and I'm actually feeling quite good in the school.
I love school. There's always something on my mind. I enjoy kirtan in the morning. I enjoy all of my friends' company. I enjoy learning. Yeah, I do enjoy going to school. And everybody's really nice in the school. Yeah, that's what I like most.
I like how it's a fairly small school and loads of people are very nice to each other, so it quite feels like a family. And the teachers are always there to support you in your interests and whatever you really just want to do. They help you go through that and push through the difficulties.
With the younger children, we'll take them to the forest and just let them have free play. But that free play in the forest is where they connect with nature, they connect with each other, they feel a sense of freedom, they feel a sense of satisfaction. But most importantly, they learn to really respect nature. For younger children, we don't want to teach them that the world is polluted, that the world is suffering as it is. We just want them to love and enjoy the natural world. So that when they do get older and they do realise, there's actually a few problems in our world, then they want to protect it.
So much hate, so much anger, so many faces. But when you start to walk with me,
I believe the education that the children get at this school is quite different from other schools in that values are much more focused on than I believe in other schools, and they also they have a very happy environment. The children at this school, some of them have even cried when they can't come to school. That's very unusual, isn't it? So they love to come to school. So I believe when they're in school and they're happy, they learn better.
what you can be. 'Cause love is all we give, and light is all we see, and truth is all we need to be free. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare.
We want it to be a place where they can actually develop a taste for learning and are developing themselves and their interests, be successful academically.
The investigation area has things that kids are interested in. So currently my kids are interested in making things out of cardboard. So that's part of the construction area. They make things out like light boxes, dresses, whatever they could think of. They make this. It's just getting the creative side, thinking about measuring, all those mathematics, language, all those come on to that. So the investigations area, the main investigation areas are collage, tinkering. Tinkering is about broken machines or woodwork. So they pull apart, like this term, I bought an old telephone, when we turn around, rotating telephone, and they pull it apart and see what's happened inside, what it look like, how do we use that before the age of telephones. So it brought out so many interesting conversations around that. So it was very interesting for them to see what was happening in the olden days. We also have a collage area where we'll try to bring things for them to make anything out of it. So the moment you have like glitters, buttons, pencils, and all those things, they can draw whatever they like. And from the collage area, kids make up their own interests. Like from the collage area, they made up drawing. They got really into drawing and tracing, teaching them pencil skills. There are different ways of techniques of having a hand movements and thinking of all those things. So I'm making that as one of the areas.
True is all we need to be free. Hare Krishna.
One of the premises of modern education is that content knowledge isn't the most important thing in education anymore. What's far more important is that children have we call them competencies, social skills, life skills, learning skills that are going to enable them to access curriculum at higher levels. Not just access curriculum, but be able to be a whole, satisfied person and be able to engage in learning.
I sort of think that achievement is important. What's not so important is the recording of it for teachers all the time and putting them in little compartments that identify. What's more important is you allow students, for me, to follow the interests that they have and encourage that.
Do you already have an idea about what you will be doing as a grown-up?
Yes, I'm going to be a professor of mathematics and physics.
I do have maybe like 2 ideas, and so I am thinking either going on to as a psychologist, because I'm quite liking the idea of studying about emotions and how people react and how their consciousness is a big thing to their personality, and that is a very soft spot of the human nature. And also, I'm also thinking of getting a job on the court as maybe a lawyer or a judge or somewhere there, as our class is focusing on persuasive texts, and debates was one thing that I felt very passionate about, so I'm looking into a job like that.
I want to travel the world. I want to be a health practitioner, and yeah, I want to be a traveler, and I want to go with Harinamuchi. Harinamuchi is a group of Hare Krishnas which travel the world and sing.
What are 3 things you would say to a friend of yours speaking about the school?
A really good education, really good teachers, and socializing with friends.
I would say this school is a very religious school, a very respecting school, and also a very fun school.
One thing would be about soccer, because in the school we are really obsessed with soccer. And then one thing would probably be about music, because we play lots of instruments. And then the other thing would probably be about education, because if everybody who goes from this school onto high school always gets top grades. I found that out.
Do you feel school is teaching you skills that are important for life?
Yes, and they really do. I mean, it's important for you to be very strong with your own opinion, to be very strong with your belief, and really have the knowledge on why you believe that, why you reason with that. And Hare Krishna School is all about religion, accepting others' religions and having your own and being yourself. And I think that is the most important thing that there is in life.
I think school's teaching me how to be free and just to be yourself and take the right path.
The most important skills to live a happy life: treating others with respect, having, knowing that others have their own bubble and how you can't just barge into that, and you should accept them the way they are, because not everything's gonna fall into your place. Life is not all about you, and that's one of the most important things that I have learned.
At this school, the purpose is to actually determine what that child's nature is and what their propensities are, so bringing out the strengths. Because we all know that if we work, and when we do work, we do something we love to do, it never feels like work.
In maths, we have testing, and I test for gaps they have. I don't test how well they did or how well they are doing. I know they're doing really well, but what I'm trying to do with maths is building the foundation so that they have all of their gaps covered. So they might be walking at stage 2. A child walking at stage 2 might know how to count up to 20, but they don't know how to count backwards. That's the gap. That's the thing I might walk with them. And for that, it might take a week or 2 or even a whole month. But that's what I will continue to walk in, looking for different ways for me to connect with them with that learning, making it fun for them. When I was taught maths, I found maths really boring. It was the most hideous, most complicated subject ever. If I knew that I had maths after lunch, I would be really anxious. So I really don't want my kids to feel that way. That's the approach I have towards maths, is making it more fun for them. Making it a game. So when they come on the table with me, they know they're going to play games in math. They're going to find different ways of connecting, and they enjoy it. And that's what I want to see them to enjoy maths. Any needs they have, I try to make it more fun as possibly as I can. For them get to love it. Even if they might get it, they might not get it at all, but still they enjoy it. They will know the process. It's about how I make them feel. When they hear about maths, the thing will come how they did maths with me. They won't remember the techniques I taught them. They will know it, but they won't remember it. The way I make them feel, that's what they remember.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
At the core of everything is relationship. And so the most important relationship is the relationship between the teacher and the child. And then secondarily, the relationship between the children themselves. Mm-hmm. So if we get those relationships right, it doesn't happen by accident. Of course, we have to put in certain structures and certain, core principles. Yep. For example, one of our core principles is that children should be intrinsically motivated to learn. Because as soon as I, as a teacher, put in force, then the relationship becomes strained. Mm-hmm. But if I empower the child to make their own decisions, and I empower the child to manage themselves, then that relationship becomes one of respect.
I think children need today what they've always needed, and I think that the most important thing that all children have is a sense of security and love.
Respecting one another is really important. So, we respect. When someone's talking, we respect them by listening, and that's the value of respect. So we have to learn how to deal respectfully with all living beings and value all life, because we're all Krishna's parts and parcel.
And one of the best things about self-directed learning is that it gives the teacher space to actually teach, because we take away this whole class concept. Teaching a whole class is useful for very specific things, but mostly because children are so different, we tend to teach them in smaller groups or even individuals. So while the children are self-managing and making good decisions, it means the teacher is free to work with an individual, to conference an individual, or to work with a smaller group according to their needs and their levels. So the role of the teacher isn't taken away. The teacher is always there to guide and support and extend and challenge a child's learning.
We're training children to grow up, to be happy adults, and to be the best that they can be, not squeezing them into a square box.
That's one of the great things about teaching is, it's just you're learning all the time. So, I'm learning so much about everything really, languages, English, Sanskrit. I'm learning about maths, I'm learning about everything. It's great, I love learning. So I just totally love it. It's great for me. I'm learning so much from the kids, they're just amazing, their insights and understandings of things.
Yeah, so building relationships and making connections doesn't just happen in a classroom. A classroom is one learning environment, but we also have the natural world around us as the best learning environment. One, because we can connect with God's energies, and two, because we can connect better with each other by actually doing things together. Getting outside, doing stuff together is a really important part of the curriculum.
My experience at Hare Krishna has been magical, and at my farewell with my colleagues, I said that was one of my favourite schools that I've attended as part of being an RTLB, possibly because my role as a liaison person, and I got to know key people in the school, not everybody, but how welcoming people are and how friendly people are and how people like also to connect with each other. So my experience there was great, and it was great that I had the opportunity to be in that role as I sort of wound down, as it were. Yeah.
And it's been a wonderful experience being here in Hare Krishna School.
And my heart has walked so many miles. I've been to pain, to fear, and to denial. But when you start to walk with me, I finally feel what you can feel. 'Cause love is all we give, and light is all we see, and truth is all we need to be free. Yes, love is all we give, and love is all we seek, and truth is all we need to be free. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare